What were your parents military? What made you go that route?
Both my grandfathers. Yeah, they were both
Okay.
Army veterans, and I used to always see my grandfather's fatigues, in the garage, and
Mm,
it's just something different, in the black community. Both my grandfathers were homeowners, and they had large families and all that. So I always thought that, hey, because of the military, my grandfather was able to raise a family, and it always excited me to say, hey, maybe if I do the same thing my grandfather, I could have a family and a home and all that.
what age were you when you got out?
Um, let's see. I went in when I was 18, so I had to be like 24.
So
Yeah, about
you're
24.
pretty injured at an early age.
Yeah, by 19, I was already
Gotcha.
damaged and suffering a lifetime of pain ever since.
And then you came out and you're unable to work,
Yeah, that was a
like
challenge.
any job.
Well, that was a challenge. So I did work for a number of years, but since leaving the military, I've only had one job that I was there for 12 months. So I just never could be employed, but I was having physical
Gotcha.
limitations. Even when I worked at Citibank as a personal banker,
Yeah.
it's a great job. I had to get, certifications and all that. But at the end of the day, I'm still experiencing the same disabilities I was in the military experiencing. So I'm sitting there at Citibank just locked up, my whole body incapacitated, and that's not good for their business. So yeah,
Yeah.
and that's really
Gotcha.
the
That's probably the hardest thing, right?
yeah, when you're giving it your all and you realize you just ain't got what it takes anymore. As a young person, that's a lot of mental
Mm.
turmoil.
I mean,
Yeah,
if you're not trying, that's one thing, but if
yeah,
you're giving 110% and
yeah,
it's still not,
yeah.
that's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you reach out to family or anything, or
Yeah,
like?
there's just not understanding. My parents love me and all that, but you know, uh,
So have you got to be? Would you say you've got to be ex-military to have that right understanding? Is that a fair statement?
I wouldn't say that, but because there's a lot of people that understand because they have somebody that served, or if
Okay,
yeah.
yeah,
So unless
that
you,
relatability.
that's right, which
Okay,
allows you to be compassionate. So you realize that certain people are struggling with mental health, but could you be a decent person to realize that, hey, this guy may not be all the way up, right upstairs. However, I could show him some kindness and compassion to help him navigate past that pain,
okay.
and that's all it takes. So if you have somebody in your family that you loved, that served or whatever, a lot of times those same people can now show us kindness because they when they look at me, they're looking at their family members.
Yeah, okay, that
Yeah,
makes a lot of
yeah.
sense. So what happened? How did you break past that, and how did it inspire you to help others like you are now?
Well, I got a, SOS in the mental hospital at Nellis Air Force Base. So I was on a medical hold for suicide for 11 days.
Did you try anything and that you're on, like, did you try to commit suicide and
Yeah, I
it
was ready
was
to
it?
go. I had the
But I mean,
gun.
had you, okay, so you hadn't you tried ODing or anything like that. You
No, I
just,
just had the gun. I was ready to
so who
go.
checked you in? Like who?
Well, one of the veterans, Vietnam era veterans, was able to talk to him on the phone, and he talked me off the ledge, and he said, "Hey, this is what you need to do." And
Okay,
I just listened to him, and that's kind of what we need. We need that next generation to tell us what to do. I'm struggling. I'm going through. I'm not thinking rationally. Show me what to do, and that's what that veteran did for me, and that's what really changed it for me. Seeing that senior veteran show me the way.
selfless. If you,
Yeah,
yeah, if you ever could describe selfless, that would be it, right?
well, that's what we need. We need a new
Yeah.
purpose. I can't do security forces. I'm not the macho guy that I once was in that type of environment. I've been reduced to not being able to walk without a cane, physical limitations. So it's a lot of turmoils because it's identity crisis, right? Like working at Citibank trying to chase money or get a corporate job. That's not me. What I'm doing right now is fulfilling my life's purpose. I feel just like I was in the military. And if I had this 10 years ago, I could have avoided all the psychotropics, narcotics, and all that other garbage.
I know
Yeah,
what you went through, but I
yeah,
know where you're at, and because of where you're at, you're able to help so many people.
yeah.
Is that more important now than you having your health and not going through this in the first
I
place?
think only how I could do what I'm doing because I truly understand it on a
That's
personal level.
that's what I'm getting at.
Yeah, we have those
Yeah.
intangible skills since I know how it is to want to take your life. I understand depression from a personal level and also seeing my wife go through the same,
Mm,
struggles on that. That's only how I can do what I'm doing right now. I didn't get this knowledge in college. Yeah. So that was the
okay.
first time that I said, well, when I got home after I got out the mental hospital, this is the first time I actually got on my knees and prayed. And I didn't
Really?
understand anything about the Bible. I didn't understand that when I was praying, I was facing the east. I didn't understand these concepts and all that stuff. But I just asked that if God be true, to give me a reason to live. I wasn't questioning him. I
Mm.
have no purpose to live right now. And that's what my problem is. It says
What have you got to lose by trying, right?
that's what it was.
Okay.
But I was honest with myself that says, I've never read the Bible. So I could be like my dad and say the Bible doesn't exist or it ain't real and all that, or I could read it for myself. And the reason why I came to that is the people that was the best of service to me during my military, service, they all believed in the Bible.
Okay.
And so the kindest people, my supervisors, even though we have a different viewpoint of the world and all that, just because he treated me so kindly and that impression that people had, I said, let me at least read the book.